welcome back to Monday Night Football. This is the last week of the regular season.
Playoffs, baby. Playoffs
Start, well, not next week because next week's spring break. We got Wagon Train coming up.
Wagon Train's the only game not this week, but next week.
This week we've got the Soccer City Cup. We got a matchup tomorrow.
Tomorrow night's going to decide it for the girls. So
and we'll see how that goes. Coahulla Creek Northwest. And then Friday we got Southeast Dalton and Classico. I mean, we're not going to pump it up this week because, I mean, it's –
what do you mean you're not going to pump it up this week? It's El Clasico. You think it's going to be the same game as it was last time?
I feel like it's going to be Snoresville again. Snoresville.
What?
So. I mean, I don't know. Like Southeast, I'm telling you, my boys have sort of.
You're telling me this is the first time that Juan and I've talked about this because I'm shocked by this take right now. Southeast Nation, you hearing this? I don't think it's going to be anything.
We'll see. Yeah, but the girl, like I said, I'm surprised because, like I said, the girls lost to Sonorville last week, which is was kind of a shocker there.
Yeah,
a big shocker. Ran into some Heritage fans this past weekend at our local brewery here. They said, "Hey, Heritage girls are region champs." I was like, "Yeah."
They'd be walking around with their chest stuck out.
So
they'd be saying it with their chest out. I don't like it.
They do. But let's go to the Outlet League scoreboard because we've got a lot to go over. Let's just run right into it. Like Monday, we had a couple of games. We had Dalton 10-1 win over Cass on the boys' side. Murray County boys won, losing 1-3 to Model, and then the girls losing to Walton 7-2. And then Model beat Team Murray County Girls 6-0.
Yeah, that's a top 5 Model girls team. All right, moving on. Tuesday night, Coahulla Creek 6-1 over Adairsville for the boys. 2-0 over Adairsville for the girls. That clinched region for the boys. Southeast over Sonorville 9-1. Then the shocker result of the week. Southeast girls going down to Sonorville 1-0.
And if there's an upset, that's an upset right there.
Yes, it is. That's probably the biggest one that we have this year.
It is the biggest upset
Northwest
of the year.
Boys taking care of business over Central, clinching the region for them 4-0. Girls 11-1. Wow. Okay, that's a big gap. North Murray 1-0 over Sonorville on the boys' side. Nice win, and 2 girls picking up the win. Now look at that. The girls picking up the 2-0 win over Sonorville.
I'm telling you.
Here's
the thing. The only thing.
Bizarre. They were coming off.
The only thing I can think of is
they were coming off the loss to Northwest.
Coming off Northwest, but also Sonorville say, hey, we can try to do so. We lost Northwest, but this is top 5-6 team in the state. Let's try to show what we can do. And if you sit back, and plus if your goals aren't going in, it's
Dalton boys over Manchester 5-4.
Manchester,
Georgia, Tennessee, England. I don't know. Moving on. All right, Northwest 3-1 over Heritage on the boys' side, and ending the perfect region run for them this year. Girls lose 2-1 to a very, very good Heritage game. I was at that game. We'll talk about it more. Christian Heritage 8 over Atlanta Classical, back from recital. Girls going down 5-0. On Friday, Southeast over Central 5-1. Girls 9-0. Murray County over Rockmart 5-2. Girls dropped the result 2-0. Dalton over Cartersville 8-0 on the boys' side, 6-0 on the girls' side. And then Dalton Academy shutting down Darlington at 3-0. So, last week, busy week. This week, busy week. Got big games on the horizon. Let's get into last week, though. We didn't see the score up there, but we're going to go over the game right now. Dalton boys, 5-4 over Baylor. This is a game we've seen over the past few years. Always entertaining, because Baylor is always a powerhouse up in private school in Tennessee, coming off the state championship. So let's go ahead and roll those highlights, and we'll be chatting over top of them.
And thank you to Geiger Legal Group. And here we go, starting right off.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Dalton had already given up a few chances. I was getting worried, and then Zeke Ortiz comes right down the field and blasts this one in the far net. Zeke Ortiz committing to Southern Illinois.
Yes.
And like I said, this was a weird game, to be honest with you. It was back and forth, and Baylor was in it all the time, and Dalton just kept answering the bell. Like I said, but I was kind of concerned that the long throw-in is still.
It's an Achilles heel for Dalton. We've seen it. They got beat on McIntosh by 2 throw-ins that.
Here it is right here.
Oh, so they had one in each half.
No, that's the only one off a throw-in right there.
No, they had one in the second half.
Did they? Well, yeah, but not a direct like that. It's a little bit different. But yeah, it's a problem.
And then I heard this guy was getting them fits all day.
So honestly, that was the 3rd time that it had been a close call in the first half with Israel coming out, and he got caught on that one. and they were able to convert the PK on that one.
Yeah, this right there, Zeke.
There was no stopping Zeke that night. Zeke had 4 goals on the night. Alexis Plaza putting in another one. There was that PK conversion. I might have got my goals a little flipped up there. But yeah, Dalton kept answering the bell. They ended up going down 4-3 and then replied with 2 goals to go ahead and win at 5-4. Coach Cheeves has got to be very pleased with the response of the boys. Look at Plaza putting that in there. Man, that was a nice one. And he's got to be pleased with the response, just probably not some of the goals they gave up.
Look.
Yeah. Just not handling business right there. They're going to look to clean that up before they're going into playoffs. And then this header here.
Yep.
That ball had eyes. Very nice. Zeke had himself a night. So Dalton boys sitting there at 14-2 right now. A nice win over Baylor. Like I said, probably not the way they had foreseen it, but like I said, they kept coming back. So a nice win for them. Great game last week for the. If you were a nonpartisan viewer just watching it, it was a wonderful game.
And like I said, so they closed out their run the record of 14-2. They got a couple games this week. Obviously, the big one, El Clasico.
Yep.
The girls on the girls' side, they came out and played Cartersville, and they came out with a win. And now that clinks region. That's their 3rd region's championship in a row. I don't think it's been done in school history. I did text Almadova and said, "Hey, keep winning championships because you know what happens every time the Dalton Catamounts girls win a region championship, it's followed up by a University of Georgia national title."
That's a weird. You know what? Causation is not always equal correlation, or correlation is not equal to causation. Yeah, thank you, Pete, from the top, setting me straight. Pete, let's throw those highlights. Yes, correlation is not equal causation. So this ends up being a 6-0 win for Dalton High girls. Some, that's going in. Oh, Kendra Delgado, nice goal there. Kendra had 2 on the night, and thank you to Coach Almondova for putting the goal scores up on the screen, adding that extra touch and taking the
I'm surprised he had time. I mean, we were trying to plan his wedding and everything. I figured,
Hey, my man is.
I think this is the first set of highlights we've gotten all year.
Hey, and these are top notch.
These are. I'm going to have to give him some stick about it because you know what?
Look at this. Oh, nice. So this ends up being, like I said, a 6-0 shutout win, a nice win, a comfortable win for Dalton. Man, sometimes it feels good just to go and put the ball in the back of the net a bunch of times against somebody and get your goal-scoring boots on and get ready for playoffs. So Dalton girls, they run to 10-5-1, 4-0, perfect on the region, and hopefully they can shut it down.
And I think they will. So right now we're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have some Northwest highlights.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on.
That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Experience the power of the links. OptiLink's streaming app VidLink, powered by its fastest internet service, GigLink. Your link to reliable remote access to healthcare. Your link to the best educational opportunities. Your link to our community's only local provider. Your link to the ultimate in entertainment choices and gaming experiences. No interruptions and faster downloads power up your life with the perfect combination of speed and entertainment. VidLink and GigLink. Upgrade today and get the power of the link.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? What would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams a reality.
At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
At Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty, we've been serving our community since 1974 with offices in Dalton, Calhoun, Ringgold, Cartersville, and Cleveland, Tennessee. We've got you covered.
Hey, welcome back to Monday Night Football. Me and Juan are just going to jump right into another set of highlights. These are the Northwest girls. This was the big game on the girls' side last week. We had Northwest versus Heritage. This was because of the result of Southeast Sonoraville. This ended up being the de facto region championship game. So it took place up at Heritage, in spite of the fact that I drove to Northwest and found that no one was there, and then proceeded to drive to Ringgold. So
at least it's close by. I mean,
it was. I was already committed. Now,
look at that beautiful field, man.
Oh, dude, I know. Dude, this go right here is in the first couple of minutes. I believe this goal is and let's see, who was this? Ariana Williams for Heritage puts that goal in early. Move on late in the second half. The equalizer by Lexi Line.
I was about to say that looked like Lexi Lines right there.
And then this is late with just a few minutes to go in the second half. Charging in, Heritage player Molly Kaysen crashes the back post, finishes off the header. Heritage wins 2-1, wins the region.
Back-to-back region championships for them that I know of. Not that we follow much Heritage soccer, but that would be putting them at. If I'm not
they
mistaken,
didn't win it last year. Northwest won region last year.
Oh, that's right, they did. So,
but here's the thing: I've now seen Heritage play, I've seen Southeast play, and I've seen Northwest, and I feel like I've gotten a good enough sample size to tell you, on any given day, any of those teams can beat the other.
Okay.
And I would never be comfortable saying that.
What about Dalton?
If they were in the same, they would be right in there. They really would. If you put those teams in a region, I couldn't tell you. I would just be guessing at the winner. Honestly, they're all that close.
I mean, in the rankings prove it. Scoreboard rankings out there. All three of them are ranked in the top 10.
And they're all beating each other 2-1.
Yeah, I think it's like 5-6 and 7 or 5-6.
So here's what's funny: if the Sonoraville result had not played out and that result would have stood, the region would have been decided by a coin flip.
I thought it was goal differential.
Well, they told me that, but then I heard at the game it would have went to a coin flip because of the 2-1. They all went by the same score line. So wild. But anyway, congratulations to Heritage. We don't do a lot of y'all's highlights. You got a great program up there. Concessions were top notch. Thank you so much for being open.
Oh, and that's why he's giving you all the props.
Hey, you've got good concessions, get a little dap. That's how this works.
All right, now let's go to your boys. I know you're so stoked because they're region champs.
Let's go see them region champs in action. All right, so the Northwest boys sitting at 8-4-2, 5-0 the region, number 5 in the state, charging up the state rankings. Open up the scoring with Antonio Segunda. Really, they were a superior team to Heritage, but Heritage was really physical. So it was tough. Hey, who's that at the back post? That's White Chocolate himself, Hayden Adams, with the second goal. And then, once again, what would a Northwest game be without a Nico Kuna goal? This is later on in the second half here. And the far post is open for business. So that made it 3-0. They would get one back, make the final score 3-1. And this would be their goal right here.
Keeper's a little too short on that one.
Well, you know what? He's a freshman, so he'll probably hit a growth spurt between now and
They get a Geiger legal for that. And I know you're able to catch up with Hayden Adams, so let's go ahead and straight into that interview.
Yep. Hayden had to do an interview because of his antics with my interview with Nico last week. So by default, he had to do our interview.
So let's see that interview.
With Northwest Whitfield Bruins captain Hayden Adams. Hayden, you guys just coming off a win against Central and crowned region champions. Tell us a little bit about what that feels like to be the first time in your career be a region champion. First time for I believe Northwest since 2016.
Yeah, it's been 7 years. Feels great. It's an accomplishment that I wanted to happen throughout my high school career. I really was trying to work for it, but luckily we achieved it. So I'm proud of the team, and I'm just glad we got there.
How's the squad feeling after that win and clinching the region? Was that a goal at the beginning of the year? Did you guys think that was?
That was definitely a goal. We really wanted to win it. We really wanted it. The squads we're really happy, but as people say, it's not over yet. We're looking forward to state.
And tonight, you guys, I'm up here at Ringgold covering this game, and you guys play Heritage.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about what your mindset is coming into tonight.
Coming in tonight, we still want to win no matter what. We want a clean sweep of region. That's what we want. We got to work for it. We got to come out 100%. So,
All right. Well, thanks a lot and
yes,
congratulations.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you again to Geiger Legal for
Yes.
sponsorship and sponsoring that interview. That was actually I did that interview pregame because we do everything backwards on this show, and because we have the time and we have the video. We're going to go to Northwest Central highlights from where they clinched the region championship earlier last week. So we didn't know we were going to have time. So
Yeah, let's roll in straight into those
but I'm
clips.
limiting Juan's talking this. We don't have the goal scorers on this one. All we know is that Northwest scored more than Central did and clinched their first region championship since 2016. We had talked about that last week. How even when Northwest won state, they did not win region that year.
It looks like Central has updated their fields. I remember being there in 2002, 2003 when I was down
thank
in
God they've updated
West
something in
Georgia.
the last 20 years.
So it looks good. But yes, as you mentioned, they clinched. I mean, a host of area schools clinched. I mean, we got Christian Heritage region champs on the boys' side,
Creek.
Northwest boys region champs, Creek region champs,
Dalton.
girls region champs, Dalton boys region champs. TDA I don't think has been decided as of yet. I think they maybe could possibly clinch
I think they can clinch this week.
So it's just showing that everyone in the area is just, it's a powerhouse, and that's why everyone looks to our page, looks to this area for soccer. I mean, we have, if you don't know, we have Todd and I on the Facebook page. We can see who looks at our page and who likes certain things. And there's a lot of people from down in the Atlanta area that be taking
they're
looks.
watching. Yeah, they be paying attention to what's going on. And we get little comments from time to time, so they're paying attention. And that's good. They need to be.
Yeah, so like I said, but great time. Like I said, it's wrapping up the end of the week. Like I said, this week Northwest got to play Coahulla. If they win, they could, the girls can clinch the cup on the for the girls. I mean, if Northwest Coahulla win, it could tie it up, but Dalton will still win by goal differential.
Well, it depends. Southeast done some favors.
We will
Northwest
see.
won big.
I don't know if Southeast want to give them a favor back, but with that, we're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to have some Northbury highlights.
Growing up, we moved around a bunch. My dad was a doctor, and we wound up moving to a bunch of different states. And you really get a glimpse moving around a lot to see how a lot of people are struggling. And there was a big draw inside me to kind of help those people during difficult times. I had no intention of being a lawyer. I had a forestry degree, and I wound up teaching environmental education, but it was the environmental justice that really drew me to the law. So I wound up joining an employment law firm out in Denver. When I was working in Denver, I was also teaching, doing trial advocacy, and Casey Geiger, he was on the trial advocacy team. So we got to know each other that way. We stayed in touch throughout the years until eventually we decided to join together. I think the culture of a firm is important, and at Geiger Legal Group, we certainly have a very good firm culture. When the firm culture is one of family, that encompasses the clients. The whole reason for the firm are our clients, and treating them like family is just a natural extension. Whether it's my immediate family or whether it's the family of clients that we help, I try to approach it in the same way, which is respect and caring towards those people. These are people who are coming to you at the worst times in their lives. Whether it's a small case or a catastrophic case, I'm going to put the same effort in for each client to make sure they get the best result that they possibly can. I think of the law as a service industry. We really are a service industry, and that we're here to serve our clients. It's not the other way around. And I would hope that each client leaves our representation understanding and really appreciating that. For anyone who's struggling with issues at their workplace or personal injuries, I urge you to call Geiger Legal Group.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. Thank you to, I want to give a shout out real quick to my fantasy league. I'm going to bring my trophies here next week. I'm the current.
Your trophies?
Yeah, I won. I'm the champion of our fantasy league.
Fantasy league of what?
Football.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to wear the shirt, so it's called the Batabacoa League. And I also want to give a shout out to my boy Sergio Martinez for the Northwest Georgia Soccer League. Golf League. I'm wearing his gear here. But let's get back into soccer. This is North America.
Juan's going to come in next week. He's going to have sponsors on his sleeves.
Hey, I'm going to be like one of those teams from European where they just like a Club America or like where we got
just everywhere.
Here, yes.
You come in with a Coke-Cola sponsorship, I'll let it slide.
All right. So let's go back. Like North Murray girls, they were able to. They're currently a record at 6-6. They played Fannin County. They won 2-0. I think we got some highlights. So
we do
if
indeed.
Pete, look right here.
This first goal is coming courtesy of Carly Clark off the free kick, sneaks it into the far post. Put the North Murray girls up 1-0. Of course, they got Wagon Train Cup coming up next week.
Yep.
And then this one right here falls nicely to the feet of Kelly Taylor, and she tucks it away to the right side there, left side of the goalkeeper for a nice finish. Give them a 2-0 win. Coach Ambritz has got to like that. It's been kind of a tough season. We know he came into the year starting a lot of freshmen.
But he started a lot of freshmen, but it's laying the foundation for the future. So if they come out. So they got a 6-6 record. I mean, it's just going to make it better for them. They're got to take the bruises this year. But obviously, once they become juniors and seniors, if they stick together, I mean, the results should start reflecting.
But that's key that we've seen everywhere. You got to get these young, like when you have that many freshmen in this core, you got to get them to stick together. You got to get them to come back out the next year. You got to get them to play and develop in the off season. That's like a huge part of the development. But we see that's like when we were in high school. The same ones that were playing freshman and sophomore year, they go find other things.
And that's the thing.
You got to keep them held together.
They're all playing club ball. We're thinking most of these girls are playing club ball. So
let me know when we see highlights of your club ball on this show. And you get no love for club ball. Yeah. That's just where you put the grind in for this.
But that is where they're made. They're club ball. So
this is where the payoff happens.
But then North Murray boys, they coming out. Barely squeaking by through Fannin with a 1-0 win.
There's some reasons for that. They're coming in at 9-2. They're second in their region behind Model, who is I believe they're 9-1. So if things play out, they're not going to win the region. They are defending region champions. Part of the struggle is they're playing without their all-time leading scorer, Uriel Marquez. He's been in and out of the lineup all year. He's missed the past couple of games. Probably going to miss till the playoffs. They're trying to get a hammy healed up, and you know how those can be.
Yeah.
So we can roll with those highlights. We have one. Honestly, North Murray boys controlled this game. They have a lot of chances, but when you're missing your Mercurial striker and Uriel Marquez, you're going to need some chances. That's a nice finish there by Brandon Vicente. Tucking the ball away and getting the result against Fannin, which you would expect them to. So, goal scoring moving forward is going to be maybe an issue for them. You look at Wagon Train coming up next Tuesday. Will he be back for that game? I don't know, but that's definitely got to be a chink in the armor for North Murray moving forward. And if you're Murray sitting there knowing that you don't have to worry about North Murray's all-time leading scorer, which I think he has 65 goals.
Only 65?
Only 65 goals.
Wow. I think
I know.
I think Ramiro Husando had 47
if you multiplied all of Juan's goals in his high school career times 50, he would still be 60 so many short.
Yes.
All right, so don't worry about it. So, but anyway, that's moving forward into Wagon Train. That's something that both sides are going to look at as a key.
Do we have Wagon Train standings? Did he not work those out?
I don't think I can tell you basically how it pans out. The boys are going to go in tied. It's going to be a winner take all. Or I'm sorry, the North Murray boys won on PKs, right? So that's got to be settled. We'll see how that works out. If it ends up 1-1, we'll have to go in goal differential and regular time goals and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you're taking care of all that.
I need a clear winner so we don't have to do that. And then on the girls' side, Murray girls are up 1-0. So if they take care of business or get a draw, it's over. They win it. So if
but what if it's a 1-0 win?
Well, it won't be. It's a region game. You got to have a winner, baby. So that helps out the fact that we got to have a winner in these games.
All right. So, and I know we have some Soccer City Cup, so I think we got that schedule of Mr. Pete. Well, here we go. We actually got some standings. I mean, Northwest. Oh, man, look at that. Northwest girls up. Obviously, they can wrap it up with a win over Coahulla. Which, I mean,
Coahulla would love nothing more than to take that scalp tomorrow night and put a dent. Even if Northwest ends up winning it, to know they didn't win it with a perfect record and they took a chunk out of them,
But Northwest still controls their destiny, even if they were to win Dalton Southeast.
But you don't want to be Northwest and have consecutive losses to Heritage then to Creek. I mean, you don't want that going into playoffs.
But the Coahulla Creek girls, I mean, they are ranked in their.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you're Northwest, you got to come with it.
And then the boys, obviously, Dalton pretty much I mean, let's just go ahead and say the Cubs going back to Dalton. I mean, they've won it. I mean, their only way is
there are scenarios. If Northwest wins big and Dalton loses big, I mean, they only got to make.
Oh, so you're predicting that Northwest?
I'm not predicting anything. I'm saying.
You hear that, Jacobo? He's over here saying Northwest is going to win big.
I just said it's possible. It's
I don't. Yeah, but like.
Why you gotta be like that, bro?
It's Cahulla. Like, I don't know. Machete now probably going to bring out a Machete for sure.
Hey, Machete, you're my boy. You know you're my boy.
You can't have both boys. You got. So here's the game. I'm putting it on you. So look, put your.
Nope, I'm not doing it.
Put
I'm not picking it. No.
You're not picking, but put your analysis hat. And what are the keys of victory for this game? For the boys.
Oh, this is easy. You talking about Northwest and Cahulla?
Yes.
For the boys, easy. Like if you're Cahulla Creek, you gotta lock up Chris Tapia and you gotta lock up Nico. You have to do that. You don't do that, you're gonna be in trouble.
And what about Northwest?
And on the flip side, the key is gonna be to somehow overcome. Number one, you're gonna have to be patient because Tony is gonna lock down that defense, and you got to be patient. And you can't just be firing off shots like right and left because I mean you just can't. You're gonna have to be patient. Wait for your opportunities, and just like I said, just not be so excited to take any shot. Be selective.
So do you think at any point during that game there's going to be a Nico-Tony matchup?
Sure there is.
Who's going to win that matchup?
I mean, that'll be the answer of who wins that game. I can't predict that.
But looking at it, Tony's the physical style. Nico's very more.
Nico's slick. Nico's got moves to make you move. I mean, and for Machete, his law seems to be like the ball may get past me, the player may get past me, but not both.
So, and see, Todd, I was trying to get him in there. He didn't want to predict it.
Not doing it.
But he's predicted games in the past. Let's just
not
put it
that
way.
One.
He doesn't want to lose his brewing cred that he's gotten. That he's built up.
Man, my boys up there.
No, so that's like I said. Then the girls are going to play, so we'll see how that goes. But we're going to get ready for go to commercial break. When we do come back, we'll have the Off the Link scoreboard. We'll go into Christian Heritage highlights. They clinch region. So we'll see you after this quick commercial break.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on.
That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Experience the power of the links. OptiLink's streaming app VidLink, powered by its fastest internet service, GigLink. Your link to reliable remote access to healthcare. Your link to the best educational opportunities. Your link to our community's only local provider. Your link to the ultimate in entertainment choices and gaming experiences. No interruptions and faster downloads power up your life with the perfect combination of speed and entertainment. VidLink and GigLink. Upgrade today and get the power of the link.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? What would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams a reality.
At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
At Coldwell Banker Canard Realty, we've been serving our community since 1974 with offices in Dalton, Calhoun, Ringgold, Cartersville, and Cleveland, Tennessee. We've got you covered.
Hey, welcome back to the second segment or second half of Monday Night Football. Just wrapped up the first 30 minutes. A lot of highlights, and we got a lot of highlights to go. We got North Murray. We got, let's see, who else we got? Murray. We got Murray, Christian Heritage. Who else we got to go here? Dalton Academy. Thanks, Pete, from the booth, Southeast. So stay with us. But next we're going to jump into the OptiLink scoreboard.
OptiLink scoreboard. We're going to run through it really, really quick. Dalton winning. Well, no, Dalton boys winning 10-1. Girls losing 7-2 to Walton. Dalton beating Cass. Murray County losing both games. And then you got Coahulla winning both games last week to Daresville by a combined score of 8-1. Southeast winning on the boys' side 9-1. Girls losing 1-0 in an upset. Northwest coming out victorious 15-1 with the boys and the girls. North Murray coming out victorious 3-0, both boys and girls. Dalton, Manchester 5-4. And I think that's the wrong team. I don't think they played a Manchester.
That's Baylor. That's the Baylor score.
So it's okay.
Oh, Pete from the booth.
That's
Sorry,
what
guys.
I was trying to think
That sounds like something.
So that's what it is. So the Dalton Manchester's Dalton Baylor 5-4. Here, Taji University Northwest winning 3-1. The girls losing 2-1. Christian Heritage 8-0 on the boys. Girls losing 5-0.
No classical jokes.
Yep. Nope.
Right.
Straight up down. Then Southeast coming up. Winning 14, combined score of 14-1 over Central. Murray County boys winning 5-2. The girls losing 2-0. Dalton 14-0 winners over Cartersville, boys and girls combined. And then Dalton Academy beating the private school of Darlington, the home of Tate Rutledge. Nice, massive lineman for the University of Georgia national championship team.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who either one of those are, and I don't acknowledge either one. So there you go.
But that's the scoreboard, and we got highlights, so we're just going to roll right into it.
Christian Heritage, that's right.
And Todd's probably second favorite school in the region or in the area. They came in at 9-1-3.
Peter Pridgeon from Noah Simpson on that one, getting a start out right. Big thank you to, let's see, who was it? Mr. Patton Hunt for getting us these highlights.
Looks like we had that one go by Elliot Forsman. And then we are going to have back-to-back goal. We're going
to go back-to-back. Marco, settle down. You know, that's how you know you score a lot of goals, when you don't even get pumped about it.
And so actually, Peter Pridgeon, I don't know if you know they call him, his nickname is D1 Pete.
D1, I saw
D1
that.
D1 Pete. They call him
Pete.
D1 Pete because he's going to D1 playing Winthrop University.
Yeah.
So.
You know what? That's kind of like what they called me back in the day, except they called me Community College Todd.
Community College Todd. And
That's
there's
right.
another goal by Marco. As mentioned,
this was number one. This was a rout against Atlanta Classical. I guess they thought they were still at rehearsal, but this was the real thing. Time to come out.
But they canceled the game against Dalton Academy. Maybe they thought, Christian Harris is going to be easier, so let's not play Dalton Academy.
Staggering stat of the week. The average height of the back line for Christian Heritage is 6'2".
I could have told you that.
What is that? What is it, the land of giants down there?
Did you not see when I told you the first time I went to go watch them live in person?
I know they're big, but I didn't realize they're 6'2".
They look like a team of college kids. That's why I say there's some large lads, because those are some big boys. And like I said, they capped off probably their best season ever so far. They came in at 9 wins, 1 loss, 3 ties.
Yeah.
They're done for the season right now. They literally are waiting.
But that's kind of dangerous. And I'd gotten some text messages with the coaches about this. Like, they're going to sit idle now for over 2 weeks. Which we all know, that's never, winning the playoffs, have you ever seen a team that got a bye?
Yeah.
And after the bye, they come out rusty.
Yeah. So
I know the coaches are already aware of this, and they're already trying to plan to figure out
that's
a way
right,
to get
because in their division, in their league, they don't even play a first-round match.
That's right. So they're getting right. So it'll be
they're going automatically to the second round, so they're...
Believe me, if they could catch a game, they would. But the schedule's not going to allow them to do that, so they're going to figure out a way to stay sharp and motivated during that time. It's going to be tough. Also, I don't know if we mentioned a couple of goals in there by Carson Russell, and Marco finished it out, I think, with his fourth goal. So anyway, it was a blowout. But yeah, they're going to be in a tough spot trying to stay sharp for the next couple of weeks with spring break and everything coming up.
We'll see how they come out. Hopefully they can stay motivated, but that is a long time to go. And now we got some We're rolling into the Murray County. We got some Murray County boys highlights.
More Geiger Legal.
Geiger Legal. Thank you, Chris Brown at Geiger Legal, for sponsoring.
So this is Murray County versus Rockmart. Murray comes out 5-2 winners. They're sitting at 6-8 overall, 5-5 in the region. We know that they gave up a couple of games they should have won. First goal up is I think I got here.
Brian Medina.
Oh, there you go. Juan's on point.
You got Brian Medina, then you have Yanni.
No, then Francisco Perez should have number 2.
So, I mean, they're at 5-5 in the region. You know, they're 2 games below 500 overall. But I think if they just win out, they'll qualify, you know, for state. So let's just hope that everything keeps going the way they are.
But if they don't, it's that 1 week they had where they didn't get wins against, I think, Fannin and Rockmart a few weeks ago, and you know, here we're seeing the matchup again, and they're handling business, which I know Coach Bergania would agree with me when they should have handled business last time. But you know what? You can only deal with what's in front of you, and this game. Then next goes by Yanni Batista, and then Ian Guzman, and then wrapping it up was Jesus Tapia. So
Is he related to Chris Tapia?
I do not know the relationship there, but who knows? There could be.
And there they are. They came out 5-2 winners. You mentioned run the regional record of 5-5 overall, 6-8. You know, like I said, North Murray. I mean, Murray County boys. They got still play the Wagon Train Cup next week.
Yep. And that will be the only game next week.
Only game next week.
And yes,
break.
I will be traveling across the river to
Conasauga River.
Yep, be traveling across the river.
You can probably hit up Taco Robles on your way back.
I'll hit up somewhere, I promise.
So, but like I said, you know, we'll see. Like I said, we'll know exactly by the end of this week how many teams will have qualified to play in the state championship. As mentioned, right, last year we had 13 out of 16 teams. Pretty much all the boys qualified last year with the exception of 3 of the girls.
The only thing I think we're down so far this year are region champions. I think we might be down a few because I know it doesn't look like we're going to have a local region champion in 2A boys.
Correct.
Or 2A girls. So, or 3A girls, because I do believe Creek may have won 3A girls last year. So I think we're going to be down some region champions, but I think overall, like teams going to state, I think we're going to be pretty steady on that. And of course, you know, it's coming down to Soccer City Cup week, so we got that going. But it's, you know, it's winding down. So, but hey, what has turned is the weather.
Yeah, the weather's good. It's going to give us a great time. And as we talk to weather, you know, we're getting ready to go to commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to have some Southeast highlights for you guys.
One of the benefits of working with a smaller firm is that you're not handed off from attorney to attorney. Attorneys don't come and go. We'll be here, and we'll be handling your case from start to finish, and you can count on that.
I will be handling your case personally. We don't have a bait and switch system. We don't have an attorney who sees you to try to settle your case, and then another attorney or paralegal to come in the middle, and then a third attorney at the end. You will be my client. I will talk to you from the moment you walk in until I hand you a check and see you smile. During your initial case evaluation, you're going to come in and you're going to meet with me or one of the other attorneys in my office. We're going to listen to you first. We want to know about the car accident or the wreck or however you got injured.
We'll give you advice about how to handle the case going forward. But the important thing for a client is to understand is that our job is to take the stress off of them, take the worry off of them. Once they leave here, leave it with us, we'll handle it.
We are passionate about representing people in wrongful death and personal injury cases. It's what we do. It's why I became an attorney. We will unburden you of the concern of worrying about how to deal with insurance companies, about worrying about how you're going to pay your medical bills. We will explain that to you and walk you through all of the processes and protect you all the way. You can call us at 706-278-2099 or contact us through our website. That's cowanlawoffice.com. We have a link that goes directly to us 24/7.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football. As Roy would say, this is the Southeast Power Hour. Pretty much it's going to be the Southeast segment unless we get some other things. But, I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. Let's just put it right out. The biggest shocker, Southeast girls losing to, as Todd used to call them, Snoresville.
My bad. You know what? Respect. I said I apologize last week, and obviously you were still mad about it because you came out and you beat Southeast 1-0. Congrats to you.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what happened in this game. I watched the highlights. I watched, and here's the thing. Southeast had a bunch of chances. Okay, they did. They didn't convert. And yeah, I think there was probably hangover from the Northwest game. But that just shows you, like, you got to come week in and week out. Yeah. And, like, anything can happen on any given day. And that game gets played, 10 more times. And I'm telling you, Southeast wins all 10 of them. But
I'm pretty sure Coach Close used it as a growing, growing pains for his girls. Obviously, look, you can't get complacent any time. So, like I said,
but what a difference this makes for their draw of state, going in third in the region versus winning.
Well, that was where they were at last year.
Yep.
I mean,
the draw they got.
The draw they got. They had to travel down to Savannah. They came back victorious. So I think, they'll be able to do it. They're playing at Westminster, if I'm not mistaken, or they were scheduled to play at Westminster. Or
that game got canceled.
They got canceled. So I think we'll see. But we do got some highlights of them playing Central. They came out 9-0 victorious.
Yeah, they just totally just decimated. And for some reason, the left side of the field here on the highlights are blurry. Yeah, they just totally took apart Central. It was a 9-0, I think, or 9-1, 9-0 scoreline. Goals by Maya Camacho. Leslie Alanice had 4 goals. 5 goals.
5 goals, actually.
Some more goals by Melissa Hernandez, Allison.
So at least I can say my prediction was great. I said she was at least going to get 20 and 10 or 20 and 15.
I don't know what her tally is, but it's in excess of 20.
I think Zeke definitely hit his goal that I predicted earlier in the year,
we
too.
We had some final stats on that. And then the final goal was by Yetzi Perez. So they just totally dismantled
Central.
So, and you know what? I think they took out a lot of anger. Like I said, I watched the clips of this game as well. I went through there, and Central rarely got the ball out of there. And watch this chip, boop.
And that's Leslie right there.
That's right. You want to come out? She'll make you pay for it.
Here's the thing, and I don't like during the Northwest game. I don't know if she was 100%. We saw that she had her leg heavily bandaged.
Yep.
Don't want to use that.
It wasn't moving the way she normally does.
Then the back line, the Hurtado coming out, pulling up lane, and then was she 100%? But like I said, don't want to use an excuse. Don't know how, like I said, how they did in the girls' game with Sonoraville. But they came back. They did what they had to do. They won. They finished out. They're currently 9-2-2. They're still ranked in the state 3-2 region, but drops down to number 3 seed.
And that's where they're gonna get the repercussions of dropping that game and it was always, even if it ended up in a draw, and all 3 of those schools, Heritage, Northwest, Southeast, all ended up in the same record, and they did go to a coin flip. Like, somebody's going to get that 3rd seat, and it's going to be a tough draw, I'm afraid. Moving on to the boys. The boys also played Central. Took care of business. They ended up winning 5-1, and also this is a match they dominated as well. This game could have been a mercy rule. I was watching the highlights of it. Honestly, Central never really challenged, and it was one-way traffic. The ball stayed on Southeast offensive end for most of the game. Pete, we can roll those highlights when you're ready. Southeast boys finishing up the week at 12-2-3, 4-1 in the region. And I just got the last 3 goals here because it was kind of a rout. We got Leo Barejas with one here, and this is a nice little goal right here. Watch this little through ball here, and this is why you stay with it till the end. And that was Fernando Alvarez. He ends up with the last 2 goals of the game in this one. And this just puts the icing on the cake.
So here's the thing. So they've pretty much they have one game this week, which is it's a little game. They played Dalton on Friday. We saw what happened last time they had a break. They came out flat. So hopefully they do the role reversal. Right now, as you mentioned, Southeast currently with a record of 12-2-3. 2 losses, 3 ties. They're 4-1 region, 2nd place. Northwest But here's the thing. Which Southeast team's going to show up? That's my question. I haven't seen a consistent Southeast game all year.
You've said that for a while now.
So, like,
here we go. We got how much? 45 seconds, basically?
No, we've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. All right. So we're going to flip the script here. So, Juan, you pay city taxes. You went to Southeast. So give us let's first of all let's go to the boys game, right? So
the boys game. Look, here's the thing.
3-0 and 3-0 and they.
Here's the thing. The boys game. If Southeast comes out in the alignment that they came out against Northwest to start out the game, you're pushing up Angel. You're pushing up Yair or to the right side, and then they flip to the left side. You push it up Angel more into a defensive attacking midfield position.
Okay.
Then I think Southeast may have a chance. But the thing about doing that
you think they're going to risk pushing him up?
Well, I mean, what else they got to left? I mean, if you want to win, you're going to have to win. You just can't, because if you sit back, Dalton is going to sit there. They're going to open it wide, try to get you down on the wings, cross it in. Zeke's going to try to do his thing. So that's the thing.
And he did his thing in the last.
He is now. Dalton is going to be down a defensive player. He's one of their starters. He's not going to be there, so we know that. I mean, but it's just we just got to see what happens. Like I said, I don't know. And then again, how motivated are they going to be? Fully motivated? Where they're all right. We don't got anything to lose. We ain't going to win region. We might as well just go in here and try to
I will say this. I feel like there's not. I feel a little bit the way I did about Northwest Southeast. I feel that Southeast doesn't have the pressure on them because the region's out of the question.
Yeah.
Soccer City Cup is out of the question. Yeah. So all that's left to go out there and play
just
for
is
pride.
Yeah.
Go play for fun. Go play for pride.
So
you're at home, right? There is a revenge factor to this.
They're at home playing in a narrow field where the first game was.
Dalton's going to be able to run away from them on this field.
No, they're not going to be able to run away to them that way.
And I don't mean run away in the sense of cowardice. I mean like exploit their speed and the space on the outside.
Everything's going to be so compact. Girls' side, I mean, it's all going to come down is how healthy is the back line. Are they going to be able to shut down? Yes, Southeast. Are they going to be able to shut down Isela Briseño, who's their goal scorer?
She's been running wide open.
So if they can shut her down, and then it all depends on Leslie. Literally, this team goes as Leslie goes. It's plain and simple.
I don't disagree with
We've
that.
seen that in every matchup. So if that line can match up and then go there, but it can go either way. But like that, as I said, we're going to go to commercial break and come back. We'll have some TDA highlights, and then we'll close out the segment or the show.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on.
That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Experience the power of the links. OptiLink's streaming app VidLink, powered by its fastest internet service, GigLink. Your link to reliable remote access to healthcare. Your link to the best educational opportunities. Your link to our community's only local provider. Your link to the ultimate in entertainment choices and gaming experiences. No interruptions and faster downloads power up your life with the perfect combination of speed and entertainment. VidLink and GigLink. Upgrade today and get the power of the link.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? What would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams a reality.
At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
At Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty, we've been serving our community since 1974 with offices in Dalton, Calhoun, Ringgold, Cartersville, and Cleveland, Tennessee. We've got you covered.
Monday Night Football, last segment, final segment.
I'm getting dropped at because I don't have TDA's.
He didn't have
record.
TDA's record. But
Yeah.
so we're going to go
Stat
do
boy
this,
here.
or we're going to go to the schedule first, or do we want to go straight into these highlights?
Let's go into TDA. I don't want to mess around and miss these highlights. So TDA last week played Darlington.
They beat them 3-0.
Here's what's strange about Darlington. Like, they've had some really big wins, but they've had some big losses this year. So I didn't know what to expect out of this. Obviously coming out with a 3-0 win for the hometown boys. It's a great result.
And then look, and they came out. So currently they ran Dalton Academy, their record to 8-3-2. You hear 8-3-2, but their 3 losses and 2 ties were all against everyone ranked higher than them. So like their schedule,
bigger classifications.
You know, last year I think they had 2 losses. They did have 2 losses, regular season losses. And then ran the table. So really they had 1 extra loss this year. But they're 5-0 in region, so they maybe should be clinching the region if they haven't already.
Yeah, I haven't seen any social media posts about that, but I don't know how they haven't clinched already. So we may just be behind.
We may be behind, but let's go. We got some highlights. Let's roll to it. And look at beautiful Dalton Stadium at Heritage Point Park.
That's right. First goal coming up from Joe Gonzalez, the fabulous freshman, taking care of business, just like he did a few weeks ago against Coosa. So that's nice.
Look at that light show.
Hey, you know what? Those lights are safe for people with seizures. Did you know
They
that?
are, yes. Well, they had to be. If not, the school could get sued. So
That's right.
When they put in these lights, they make sure that they're
Goal
good
number
for-
2 by Erie Lopez.
Oh, look at that throw in.
Big throw in. And going to finish it up. Third goal here.
Oh,
Jesus
that was a banger.
Arellano with the banger.
That was a banger. There was a banger. Look at that.
So
Light show.
great win for TDA. Finishing, wrapping up. It looks 5-0. Like I said, I don't even know if they have another region game to play. But man, they've had an outstanding season once again. You look at that 8-3-2. Those losses came again, and draws came against some heavy hitters. The 2 draws were if I'm not mistaken, one was against Northwest, right?
Yes. 3-3.
And-
3-3.
Yep. And I can
then
tell you.
Their
Hold
3
on,
losses.
I have the power of technology here.
Their 3 losses were to Rome. I think they lost 2-0 to Rome or 3-1.
Lost 3-1 to Southeast and 3-0 to Rome.
Yep.
So there you go. Not too
And
bad.
they lost 1-0 to Creek.
Yep, and tied Christian Heritage. So there you go, and Northwest. So those are like all their losses are against really good competition. They ain't gonna face that kind of competition in state playoffs, is my guess. But if they do,
well,
guess what? They're ready for it if they do.
Well, I mean, let's just look while you're talking about that, the power of technology. I mean, let's just look at the state rankings. I mean, right now, Christian Heritage is ranked number 2 in the state in Class A Division 2. So they would have to play Georgia Military College. TDA is number
It's not the
5.
college, it's just Georgia Military.
Yeah, Military College.
They don't have to play North.
So, but here's the thing, Dalton Academy, you're right, but still lurking potentially, and I'm waiting to see the draw, and it ain't out yet. So hopefully, I think it may be out by the end of this week, or maybe they're going to wait till playoff starts in 2 weeks. But I want to see what side of the bracket Dalton ends up, and what side of the bracket the Padilla School and Atlanta International, because then that's going to tell you like, okay, where. And also, I mean, just really,
if you end up having to go through both Padilla School and Atlanta International to get there on your same side of your bracket, that's going to be rough.
And like you said, then we go back over here to the boys, to Class 2A. You've got North Murray coming in at number 8. You got Coahulla Creek sitting in at number 2, if I'm not mistaken. And, 2, playing Columbus, supposedly Columbus, Oconee. That is going to be interesting to see where they are at on that. The girls are ranked.
Well, in North Murray, it'll depend on if they get Uriel back. But
and the Coahulla Creek girls are ranked number 9 in 3A. And then we go to, let's just go to the girls 4A, because, I mean, it is stacked. You got Heritage at number 6, Northwest at number 7, Southeast at number 9. On the boys' side, Dalton Northwest actually coming into the rankings now. They're coming at number 8. And then you have Southeast up there at number 2. I mean, so we'll see how that goes.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Hey, rankings are rankings, my friend. When they give us here. And then Dalton is coming in at number 2 and 5A. So quite a few squads still ranked or newly ranked. We'll see how that goes out. Do we have any highlights for the TDA girls?
I do not. I was not sent any.
Okay.
So we went through all the highlights that we were sent. We cashed out.
And with that, let's go ahead and go pull up that OptiLink scoreboard, or not scoreboard, like upcoming schedule. The games are light this week. I mean, it's the last full week.
But there's some good ones.
There is some good ones. So tomorrow we got Northwest Soccer City Cup.
That's right. The girls can finish it out for Northwest. Color Creek girls, they can go up and put a dent in that record. And even if Northwest wins it, they won't have a perfect record.
And then we got North Murray playing Gordon Centrock. I think Pete maybe meant Central and not Centrock.
Oh no, Pete confirmed it is Centrock. It's a special school. We don't know.
All right, and then Dalton boys playing Meadow Creek, which, if you all know, Meadow Creek, the common denominator is Southeast beat them 2-1 earlier in the season. We'll see how that goes. Dalton Academy playing Chattooga. I think this may be why they have a clinched region, because they're part of the region. And then Southeast playing Woodward. Actually, that's going to be on Wednesday. Woodward. And then Murray County playing Gordon Central. And then Friday wraps up most of the games for all these teams, with the exception of North Murray, because they still have a game next week. Got Northwest at Calhoun, Dalton Academy versus Trine, Coahulla Creek versus Cedartown, Southeast El Clásico. Last year's last game did not disappoint, 3-3 tie. We'll see what happens in this one. And then you got North Murray versus Haralson County. So
North Murray should mop up on that one.
So really, that's why I think Dalton has it, because they still got to play Trine and Chattooga. So that's maybe why they haven't clinched.
Well, I think it may be actually Trine that maybe Trine will be tough. I mean, that honestly that'll tell us a lot. Actually, I don't know if Trine. Do you know what division they're in?
They're the same as 1A. Really? They're in the same region as Dalton.
It's tough to keep up with this.
But like I said, we're rolling into the last week. We're still going to have a few shows going into the playoffs, depending on how many teams. So that'll be TBD as the season goes on. But we'll definitely have a show next week to cover all this. We'll definitely have a show the following week to cover the one game. But also, that's going to be the primer to give up to really discuss the matchups, because we're going to have a lot more time to discuss all these matchups.
It's going to be weird because it's going to be like spring break week, and so we'll see how that goes. But our plan is to have a show. And
then we'll see what happens. You know, state titles are scheduled to be played May 1st or May 2nd through the 5th. So here in a month, Cinco de Mayo, we should know if we're going to have some state champions.
Yeah, and then then that'll be a big decider to see if we have our annual soccer celebration.
Yeah, soccer.
Give us some champions, and we'll give you a celebration.
Yeah. So, and if you haven't seen that, the Brad Ramsey and Misty Silvers, they've actually done Soccer City do a nonprofit. So anything that you supply to that will go to help any athletes, student athletes, things like that. But Todd, with that, we're going to go to. And that's the end of our show.
That's it. We're done.
That's it. We're done. With that, see you next week.